Once upon a time, a long time ago, or maybe not so long ago, you were born. And there began your story of this life. How that story becomes and what that story has been is all down to you. We spend an awful lot of time blaming our circumstances and those around us for our story, instead of taking the responsibility of writing that story, creating that story day to day ourselves. And it occurred to me that we have lots of people that influence us in our lives. People that we know well, people that we come across very, very briefly, people that we don't know at all but that run our countries or run our religions, or there are so many people that influence our lives, or so we think. But actually the only person that really influences your life is you. But within you is a whole world of characters. How many times have you tried to make a decision and ended up arguing with yourself, and both sides of the argument were sound and fine? And how do you make a decision when you've got two sides arguing? Or have you ever tried to do something and talked yourself out of it? These are all different characters. That's not just you. That is a series of characters that exist within you. And it is what I call the magical community of I. It's magical because we can actually do whatever we like with it. And by being aware that each and every one of those different aspects is like a character in our story, a character that we have either created consciously or subconsciously, then that awareness brings us the capability to create that differently, and to come to know those characters and to decide which of those characters need our help, which of those characters we really like and we want to keep, and which of those characters need to move on or need to be helped to become better and less negative. We are magical. We can do it. We are goddesses. We are gods of our own world. The community aspect is something that I feel is missing from society. On the outside, in our outside community, what is there that really speaks of community to us? Some of us have family that are close to us, which is wonderful, but so many of us live apart from families. We've had to move away for jobs, because of housing, all sorts of reasons. And there, in England anyway, I live in a rural community, but the community as it would have been 50 years ago is no longer there. There is no shop, there is a pub, there is a school, but there isn't the sense of community in the same way as there once was. There isn't the support of community as there once was. But once again, within us, with all these characters that we have to play with, then there's always community. We always have someone to speak to, we always have somebody to discuss things with. It's just a case of getting to know who's who and working out how we take control. And the I in the magical community of I is very important. We always think of I as being a singular word. To me, I is a plural word. I is my world. I am means a whole world. And that again is very empowering. So the magical community of I is all about becoming aware of your world inside you, becoming aware of the characters that occupy that world, becoming aware of how you can use those characters to your advantage, becoming aware of how you can work with those to help you, how some of them can go off and do their own thing while you're doing something else. You have a whole world of people within that single eye. And learning how to use them to help you create the outer world that you actually want to live in isn't difficult to do. It just takes a little bit of switching of perception, a bit of self-awareness, and a little bit of direction. And I'm here to give the direction. So I hope you do enjoy the course. I know parts of it can seem tough, but the whole point of writing this course was for it to be fun. So if it's not fun, then perhaps you're just looking at it a bit too seriously. Try and do the exercises with that element of fun, with that element of delving into a story, into characters, into a novel. Try and bring your creativity to it. And if it is a hard slog, or if you're stuck on something, that's why I'm here. I can help. I can give you suggestions. I can even work through steps, each step with you. And I'm sure you will enjoy it. Many people start the course and then drift off, and it seems that there's a lack of time to really spend. And this isn't just this course. People do this with so many online courses. If you're not actually having to go to a building every time to do your course, people tend to think, oh, well, I've just not got quite time now, I will put it aside, I'll do it some other time. But it doesn't take long to do any of the exercises. It probably takes as long to read up each week's assignment and details about the assignment as it really does to have a go. And you can have 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. The characters that you're going to meet are not going anywhere. They're within you. They're contained. They're not going to escape. You can go and meet them whenever you have a spare moment. If you sat down having a cup of tea, you can ask to meet them. They might want to join you and have a cup of tea and have a gossip or a discuss of something, and they're there. They're waiting for you to recognise them and for you to help them and be conscious of them and not ignore them anymore. So many of them are ignored. And when they're ignored, they're rattling at the cages and they're saying, come on, I'm here. I can help. I can show you a better way, a different way. Or I can argue with you so that you can be clearer on something. So it's not difficult. And it doesn't take much time. And I feel that if people have paid money for my courses, then they should get the most out of it that I can possibly give. So this space on Facebook is open for us all to discuss. And I use this material that I'm giving to you all the time. So, and I continually use it. It's not like I'm using it and then I'm done and finished with. I can participate too. I can be a part of what you're learning and what you're discovering, because there is always more to discover. In reality, you're not just one story, you're a world of stories as well. Every one of those aspects, every one of those characters within you has its own story of how it became in the first place. And what happens to it from now on is down to you as the goddess, the god of your world. Thank you for listening, and I promise I will get round to doing another little vlog soon. Bye bye.